Have you ever noticed that time never shows itself? You can point at the clock, but that's not time. That's a machine measuring the shadow of a concept. You can look at the sunset and say, another day gone, but that's not time either. That's movement, change, transformation. Time, as we know it, is a story. And like all stories, it only exists for those who believe in it. You see, we are born into this rhythm, a ticking linear hypnosis that tells us one thing follows another, that there is a past behind us, a future ahead, and the little fragile bead of awareness sliding in between called now. But what if that story isn't true? What if time is not the container of your experience, but merely the way your mind organizes infinity so it doesn't go mad from too much freedom? Because really, there is no moment before or moment after. There is only what is. Everything else is memory and imagination, both alive in this very instant. You've never actually been in the past. You've never visited the future. You've only ever been right here, suspended in the eternal immediacy of now. But the human animal loves control, loves maps, loves measuring the immeasurable. So we took this living mystery, the pure unfolding of consciousness, and we drew a line through it. We called it time. We carved the infinite into segments, gave each segment a number, and built calendars, clocks, and deadlines to keep our minds busy while eternity quietly breathed around us. Time is a trick of perception, an agreement between frightened creatures trying to manage the unmanageable. Because without the illusion of time, who are you? Where are you? The self, as we know it, begins to dissolve. Without a past, your story has no roots. Without a future, your ambitions lose their meaning. What's left is just the raw awareness, the unconditioned being that has no age, no hurry, no decay. We fear timelessness because it strips away identity. The ego depends on time like a fish depends on water. It needs to feel it's going somewhere, achieving, improving, growing, becoming. But consciousness doesn't need to go anywhere. It is. It always has been. It always will be. The universe, from the point of view of consciousness, is happening all at once, a great eternal bloom unfolding in every direction simultaneously. When I say time exists only for those who believe in it, what I mean is that it's an instrument of belief, not a law of nature. It's a lens through which the human mind interprets change. But if you shift your awareness even slightly, you can feel the illusion begin to loosen. You start to sense that this entire lifetime, from birth to death, is more like a single flash of lightning than a drawn-out journey. It is only the mind that slows it down into a sequence, like a film reel playing one frame after another. Reality itself is instantaneous, whole, indivisible. Have you ever noticed how time behaves differently depending on your state of mind? When you're lost in joy, it disappears. When you're waiting in anxiety, it drags on endlessly. That's because time is not something out there. It's the shadow cast by your attention. It's the psychological echo of how tightly or loosely you hold the present moment. So if you believe in time, you also believe in separation. You believe in distance between events, between cause and effect, between yourself and the infinite. But when you stop believing, something remarkable happens. The boundaries soften, the line between now and forever dissolves, and you begin to perceive life as it truly is, a single, flowing presence with no edges. The ancients used to say, eternity is not endless time, it's timelessness. That means eternity isn't a long stretch of moments. It's the absence of moments altogether. It's the stillness beneath the river, the silence beneath the sound. It's what's left when time folds into itself and disappears. This is why in deep meditation, or under the influence of certain plant teachers, time can vanish. Suddenly you realize you've never been moving through time. Time has been moving through you. You are the stage upon which time performs, the awareness that watches its dance. And in that realization comes liberation. You are not bound to the ticking of clocks or the turning of planets. You are part of the same infinite stillness that existed before the first star and will remain after the last atom fades. The challenge, of course, is living in a world that worships time. Every system, every institution, every ambition is rooted in it, in progress, productivity, deadlines, decay. But these are all rituals of belief, and belief, once examined, begins to lose its grip. Because once you see time for what it is, a conceptual convenience, a story for the survival of the ego, you begin to live differently. You stop chasing, stop comparing, stop rushing. You start being. You realize that enlightenment isn't something waiting for you at the end of time. It's what remains when time stops mattering. So maybe it's not that time is passing by us, but that we are passing through the timeless. Each thought, each breath, each heartbeat, a ripple in the eternal sea. The more we cling to the illusion of then, the less we can feel the truth of now. And that, my friends, is the great cosmic joke. Because the moment you stop believing in time, it stops believing in you. When you start to loosen your grip on time, the world itself begins to change shape. The edges blur, the rush softens, and something ancient awakens within you, a remembering. You begin to sense that what you've called the future has already happened, and what you call the past is still happening somewhere else in the vast ocean of being. Everything is simultaneous, layered like light through glass.
It's as though consciousness plays an infinite symphony, and what we call time is merely the needle tracing the groove. But the music itself, the melody of existence, is already complete. It has already been written, already been played. We're simply listening to it one note at a time, believing the song unfolds as we go. The truth is, you were never born into time. You were born out of timelessness. The womb, the dream, the silence before the first cry, all of it emerges from that eternal field where there is no before or after. Birth and death are just transitions, doorways into different modes of perception. Consciousness doesn't begin or end, it shifts frequency. Look at nature. Does a tree worry about the passing of time? It simply grows, unfolds, sheds, and blooms again. Not in a rush, not on a clock. The river doesn't schedule its flow. The clouds don't check calendars before they gather. Only the human mind, trapped in the illusion of time, feels the need to race against an imaginary finish line. We live as though we're running out of something that never existed. We chase days, collect years, count birthdays, as if measuring eternity could somehow make it ours. But when you realize that you are eternity, the chase ends. You stop living by the watch and start living by the wonder. Time enslaves the ego, but liberates the soul if you let it dissolve. Because when the boundaries of time dissolve, so does the boundary of the self. The you that ages, worries, strives, and fears, that's a creature of time. But the awareness watching all of it, that is untouchable. That's the part of you that never ages, never dies. It has no memory and no expectation. It is pure seeing, the silent witness behind the mask of moments. Think about dreams. In dreams, time folds and stretches. Hours pass in seconds. Lifetimes bloom between blinks. You awaken and realize that what felt long and real was a flicker in the infinite mind. Well, this waking life isn't much different. We call it real because we agree upon its sequence. But consciousness, that vast, formless awareness, doesn't measure it. It simply witnesses the play. And when the play ends, when the curtain falls, when death comes, what happens? You don't fall into darkness. You fall out of time. Death is not the annihilation of being, it's the end of the illusion of becoming. It's the moment the dreamer wakes and realizes they were the dream all along. When you understand this, death loses its sting. You stop clutching at life as though it could slip away, because what is there to lose? You cannot lose eternity. You can only forget it for a while. Our anxiety, our constant rushing, our endless planning, it all stems from a belief that there is not enough time. But in the timeless, there is no lack. There is no hurry. There is only presence, vast, luminous, eternal presence. This realization isn't an escape from life, it's a return to it. Because once you stop trying to outrun time, you start to see again. You notice the way sunlight dances on water, the way laughter folds into silence, the way each breath is an entire universe being born and dying within you. You begin to live not for tomorrow, but as tomorrow. Time exists only for those who believe in it. The moment you stop believing, the whole mechanism starts to unravel. The schedules, the deadlines, the aging, they lose their grip. You realize that what you called change is simply movement within stillness. What you called history is just imagination wearing different masks. The mind will resist this. It will cling to the clock, to memory, to ambition, because it fears dissolution. It fears becoming the ocean again. But that is precisely where freedom lies, in the surrender. If you want to experience eternity, you don't need to seek it in the stars or the afterlife. Just stop, right now. Close your eyes. Feel this breath. Don't name it. Don't measure it. Don't say it's happening now. Just be it. And notice, there's no movement, no beginning, no end. There's just awareness, infinite and still, beyond time. That is what you are. That is what everything is. Time is the shadow of eternity, and when you turn toward the light, the shadow disappears. So perhaps the purpose of our journey is not to find meaning in time,
but to wake up from it, to see that all our striving, all our history, all our future is but a dream playing across the infinite stream of consciousness. And when that realization dawns, you laugh, because it was always right here, hiding in plain sight, disguised as a ticking clock. So let go of the counting, the planning, the racing. Live not in time, but through it, like wind through trees, like light through glass, like consciousness through the mystery. Because eternity is not waiting for you. You are already in it. You always were. You always will be. And that, my friends, is the secret hidden in the second hand.